So lately I've been hyper focusing on my local elections, but now that they're over, I actually have time to sit down and dive into Kamala's record and just actually peek into what she's been campaigning for. So here's my list of things that no one asked for. This is going to be the things that I see as wins and the things that I would like to see. Kamala supports raising the minimum wage for more progressive tax policies, including increasing taxes on the wealthy and corporations. She's supporting increasing funding for small businesses, so that's a win for small business support. She's supporting significant investment in infrastructure, extremely necessary because the U.S. is falling apart. Opportunities. The piece that I think Kamala would have to address would be finding bipartisan support for tax reforms and infrastructure investments. When it comes to healthcare, she supports expanding the Affordable Care Act to expand access to healthcare, keeping up with promises to lower prescription drug prices, not just for seniors, but for everyone. An opportunity that I think she's going to have to address here is balancing the actual cost of expanding healthcare while making sure to maintain federal budget constraints. How are we going to do that? When it comes to justice and law enforcement, a big one for me is that she's supporting measures for reform. So that includes accountability and pushing for community-based practices, as well as advocating for ending mandatory minimums, which is ultimately addressing systemic racism in the judicial system. Important for me to see is how she intends to gain bipartisan support for something like police reform. When it comes to public education, she supports increasing funding for public schools and teachers' pay. I really think that it's important for us to make sure that our public goods are not being overtaken by privatization. I also like to see her do a little bit more work to separate herself from the Biden administration and kind of move into her own as like the Harris administration. I'd love to see her do a little bit with making sure to like separate herself and kind of stand on her own. But that's what I've got so far. Let me know your guys' thoughts.